Yeah, John, obviously we're not getting to see a whole lot of practice these days. Can you just give us an idea of what today was like? You guys in full pads again, and what's the offense looking like in your opinion?
Today went really well. The offense was connecting in the pass game and the run game. It was a real physical practice, second day of full pads. But I think we put together a good practice. From each position group, we're working hard, covering down, doing those extra things. So I'm really excited about the way the offense looks right now.
Hey, John, good to see you. Last week, Coach Smart was speaking about how, of course, y'all didn't have spring last year. I mean, how the offense right now, this early on is really ahead of where y'all were, like maybe in July when y'all were preparing last year. Can you kind of give some examples of that, of how the offense is kind of ahead of schedule maybe right now?
I think because we're returning a bunch of great players, and we also have a bunch of committed freshmen that are eager and excited to learn. So when you combine those two, the opportunities are endless, and we're really excited about them.
Let's go to Seth Emerson and then Mike Griffith.
John, I guess in that vein, how much do you think or how much is your sense is being, I don't know if added to the playbook is the right term for it, but what more do you think is going on in Coach Monken's second year, especially when you have a little bit of more of a normal spring?
You're saying like what's being added?
Yeah, or is anything being added, or is it like just fixing stuff from last year, or what does it look like?
I think it's a good combination of both. But I think the spring primarily focuses on getting better as football players, and that's just playing football, going out in there and hitting each other, and going out in there, running fast, running your routes. So, it's nothing crazy, but yeah, it's more about just getting out there and, playing football.
John, we've heard Coach Smart talk about quarterbacks thrown to the receivers a lot. Obviously, you would be a part of those type of workouts. Can you share some insights into just how much extra work is going on and how many guys are out there with 4 quarterbacks and, I don't know, probably 15 or 16 targets between the receivers and the tight ends maybe?
It's really exciting having a bunch of talent at quarterback and then seeing from the tight end room the talent that we have, and then the receiver room. And, it started, right after the bowl game. We wanted to use that as a springboard going into the spring and then following up into the summer and then the coming season. But we wanted to start early and start getting routes in, start 7-on-7, stuff like that. And I think we did a great job, and it's kind of showing up on the field as we go throughout spring practice.
Let's go to Dean and then Jake. Dean, we can't hear you, buddy. No, you're on mute again. Okay, Jake, go ahead.
Yeah, John, you mentioned the talented quarterback. Can you give us a scouting report on Brock Vandegrift? None of us have had a chance to really see him at Georgia yet. What do you think of him, and what does he kind of bring to the table?
Brock's a great kid. He joins a talented group. From top to bottom, they're all talented. So he's another great kid that we're excited to have aboard.
Dean, you want to try? Go ahead.
I can try.
There you are. We got you.
You said the offense was really connecting. That seems to me like you're saying that this is in passing game. Is that what you mean to say? And how many quarterbacks are connecting with receivers?
Connecting both in the run game and in the pass game, and all quarterbacks are doing a great job so far.
All right, let's go to Mark and then Matthew.
John, what's different when you have a quarterback that's started the last 4 games of the year? You have running backs that obviously are pretty seasoned. Same thing with wide receivers. Some guys gone from the offensive line, but a lot of guys back on offense. How does that translate on the practice field this spring?
I'd say it translates. We're just excited and we're eager and we're hungry. We all have a bunch of experience, I feel like, and we just want to use that experience. And we don't want to be sitting there watching when it comes to January. We want to be playing in those games. So
Thank you.
Hey, John. So obviously you're coming off a good game to finish the last year at the Peach Bowl. What, if anything, are you really focusing on to improve in your game this year, and what do you hope to get out of this spring?
I want to keep working on my route tree, expand it more, fine tune that tops of routes in and out of my breaks and that thing. And then also in the run game, you can never be 100%. So just definer things such as footwork, things of that nature.
Let's go to Palmer and then Connor.
Yeah, Jake asked you about Brock Vandegrift. Wanted to ask you about Brock Bowers. What have your first impressions of him been so far this spring?
Brock's another great kid. We're really excited to have him aboard. He's smart and he's a good player, and he joins a great group of tight ends, along with Brett, Godey, Darnell, you name it. So I'm excited to have him.
Hey, John, I wanted to ask you about Darnell. How much further along is he now compared to where he was when he arrived last summer?
Darnell's done a great job. I think he's focused more and then taking a better hold of the playbook. So he's going to continue to do that, and he's going to continue to lead and perform like we want him to perform.
All right, McGregor, we got time for one more question. Let's go to you, buddy.
Hey, John, I was just wondering, with the tight end squad entering spring practice, I was wondering, what is your main focus as a group been on in the recent practices?
There's a lot of focuses. Probably the main focus is the effort. You can run all the routes that you want and run a great route, but if it gets thrown to the other side of the field, are you going to be the one to cover down and follow that ball, or are you going to be the one to stop just to save your breath for the next play, things like that.
John, thank you for your time. Have a good rest of your evening.